Coach's Corner is brought to you by Capital Investment Advisory Services. Hello and welcome into another episode of Coach's Corner. I'm Mitch Stewart, and joined alongside of me here this morning is Dawgs head coach Dan Brimner. Dan, thanks for joining me.
Thanks, Mitch.
So Dan, let's take a look back at the last couple of weeks. It's been a tough stretch of results for you guys here recently, but it feels like the team is still battling their hearts out every night. That Saturday night game against Fayetteville this past weekend really kind of felt like that, where you guys were in it and just couldn't get that game-tying goal. What's kind of your message to the team right now, and maybe the puck isn't bouncing your way or the results just aren't ending up the way that you would like?
Well, funny you say that. It seems like we're still battling and everything. 3-7 in our last 10. 4 of those losses to Fayetteville. 3 of those games going back 2 weekends ago to Thursday, Friday against Fayetteville. I argue the opposite. The effort. I hate to say effort, but the battle to compete just wasn't there. I mean, we looked like we were skating underwater. Fayetteville looked bigger, faster, stronger. They were winning puck battles. They were smarter than us on the ice. It was every aspect of the game that we were just non-competitive. And then, the Saturday game with 6,000 fans there, we show up in a big way against a very good Knoxville team, and I think we outplay them in every aspect of the game. Fast forward to the next weekend, we got Fayetteville 2 more times. Friday night, again, an absolute dud as far as energy, as far as compete. We go over video, we look at it. You can't hide out there on the ice. You see the video, you see you getting beat in every battle, and we go through it. And Saturday, they respond. We have a great competitive battle. And Fayetteville, a good team right now, comes out on top. The big thing for us right now is our guys understanding that these games, that if we're only showing up to compete 50% of the time, we only get that chance to win 50% of the time. It's not guaranteed that a game like Saturday where you do show up, Fayetteville played well, a couple bad bounces, a couple of tough decisions on our part, and we end up behind and we lose another one. So the big thing for me with this group right now is trying to find a way for consistent energy. I think they've shown that. I love this group. I think they've shown that when they're competing, when they have that energy, they not only compete with, but they can beat any team in the league. But part of being a pro in a 56-game schedule, it's a long year. We're in the dog days now. Is being able to be consistent even when we're not feeling that high energy.
Well, one guy I feel like that has brought in a good level of energy to the Dogs since he was added back at the end of December, rookie Jesse Anderson. You've kind of moved him around from the outside initially, and now he's kind of playing through the middle a little bit as a center, and it feels like he's kind of found a new gear the last couple of weeks now that he's gotten a bit more comfortable at this level. What do you think about his play so far through his first few weeks as a Dog?
Yeah, Jesse, when he first came in, he clearly had a ton of speed, which is, speed kills. And then the first couple of weeks was just kind of trying to figure out the pro game a little bit. And in particular, the last couple of weeks, he's been much more effective at retrieving pucks, much more confident in handling pucks and shooting pucks. So he's been getting more opportunity out there, and he's kind of ran with it. So he's a guy that I hope everybody else kind of picks up a little bit of his energy from. So. There's a number of guys like that on our team right now that have been consistent with that energy, but when it's only a couple guys going each game here and there, it's just not enough at this level. Teams are getting better and better, and we need to have that consistent effort throughout. So.
Now, Nick Devoto is a guy who's been called up a couple different times this year to the ECHL, and once he came back from his last stint, it seems like he's kind of found a different part of his offensive game, where now he's kind of taking on more of that playmaking role. We're starting to see his vision on top of just his speed and his skill. What do you think about what he brings to the offense for the Rail Yard Dogs?
Yeah, you see it every year. Guys get call-ups early on and really battling for that next call-up. With Vito, I think he's really bought in here now, and it's something that I was hoping to see earlier in the year. But every pro kind of finds their own way, their own path to these call-ups, and I've always said I think the best way to go about it is to be all bought in where you are, and when that opportunity comes, obviously you run with it. But I think he had a renewed focus on being here in the moment and playing to his best ability here, and it's really shown. And the pride, everybody sees the little things he's doing as far as like the offensive side, his vision and his shooting and his playmaking ability. But what I see and what's really really great from his standpoint is where he's buying in on the defensive side too. He's doing his best to block shots. He's trying to be physical on the defensive side of bodies. And when you have guys that are your skill guys that should be putting up points, doing those things, it makes it easier to make sure that the whole team is.
Well, to bring it to the other Nick on the team, Nick Ford comes back from Jacksonville, a very good ECHL team, and he was very productive for you all before he got his ECHL call-up. 6 goals and 6 assists in his 14 games. How does it feel to kind of bring in a player of his caliber back into the fold at this stage of the season?
Right now is so key. Like I said, we are going through the dog days of the season, and it is hard to maintain that high RPM, that high energy all year long. But getting a guy back that the locker room loves, he's a great guy. He's bought into the team success here, and he's a hell of a hockey player. So, I mean, at the end of the day, he's going to be giving us an offensive punch. He's going to give us a physical punch out there. And like I said, I think that energy of a guy that was up, coming back, but excited to be coming back. I had the conversation with him before he booked his flight and stuff, and he was just like, the waiver wire will be there, and we'll see what happens. But I want to book my flight right back. Right now I want to get back. I want to get on the ice. I want to get back in the Dawgs locker room. And I think having that energy coming back from a guy that was up is something that I hope is going to be contagious and kind of go through the room.
Well, I know the fans will be excited to have him back, as well as the guys having him back in the locker room. You guys have a new team coming into the Berglund Center this weekend, Pensacola Ice Flyers. We haven't seen them yet so far this season, but you guys get Friday night, Saturday night, and Sunday afternoon with them here, and then you go on the road for 9 games. What have you seen from the Ice Flyers so far as you look ahead to this weekend?
It's nice to see a different team, first of all. This is, we're 36 games in. This is a team we haven't seen yet this year, which is pretty wild in an 11-team league. But I think that's another factor that should help ramp up our energy. You talk about how, playing a team like Fayetteville 17 times, and on one hand, I'm sure people probably think, or the outside probably thinks, you should, the energy all the time, hate that team. And yeah, that's definitely an aspect to it, but, that hate runs through game 7, 8, 9, 10, and then you're on game 12, 13, and then you see the waivers. I mean, in that energy flow, we took 4 from them in a row, and then they came right back and took 4 from us when they're kind of flowing and we're kind of hitting that ebb. But with Pensacola, really excited to see new faces, new team, new competition. It should jack up our energy. But as far as the team structure, they're going to be a bit different than what we've seen. Fayetteville, Knoxville, they really push the pace up front. A little bit of what we call run and gun. I see Pensacola, Rod there runs a much more structured program. So they're very in their position all the time, not into that up and down the ice running gun. So I think we'll see a lot more structured zone time both sides. When they get the opportunity to have some zone time, they're really going to try to hem us in, and we're going to be looking to do the same thing with them.
Well, good deal, Dan. Thank you so much for joining me here today.
All right. Thanks, Mitch.
As we look ahead to this upcoming weekend, make sure that you come on out to Berglund Center Friday night here at 7:05. Saturday night is Superhero Night here at the arena, and then, of course, the Sunday afternoon game at 3:05 p.m. You won't want to miss it because the Dawgs don't come back until mid-March, so make sure that you're here cheering on the team this weekend. Thank you so much for tuning in, and have a great rest of your day.
Coach's Corner is brought to you by Capital Investment Advisory Services,